it was part of my deal with my manager. As long as I go to Brazil, for the rest, you do what you want, but make sure I'm going to Brazil every year.
Ei! Não fiquei doido não, é que a entrevista pede. A nossa equipe bateu um papo com David Guetta, ele que acaba de ser eleito o melhor DJ do mundo pela segunda vez agora no último novembro. E tá aí lançando agora um monte de lives, tá fazendo esses projetos maravilhosos durante a pandemia. E tem um grande projeto da Live Tomorrowland no Réveillon que ele vai contar pra gente. A gente bateu um papo com ele pra saber mais sobre o quanto ele ama o Brasil, né? Porque teve uma época que David Guetta quase morava no Brasil. Já contou até que foi no baile funk. Na próxima chama a gente, tá, David Guetta? Então dá só uma olhada no nosso papo com David Guetta.
Hi David, how are you?
Excellent. How are you?
Great, I'm good. Thanks so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
So first of all, I actually have to say happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're almost birthday buddies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mine was on the 12th.
Oh, fantastic. Happy birthday to you too then.
Thank you. So as a birthday gift, you actually were crowned the best DJ in the world once again. That's amazing.
The same day.
Yeah, that's crazy. How does it feel to be back on top after like 9 years?
Well, it's amazing. Like I feel like it makes me even happier this time. I don't know. I feel like it has a little bit of a different meaning. First, to see that my music still connects with the younger generation, because the people voting, they're more like younger, of a younger audience. And also, it's kind of funny because the first time I won because I was having all those huge crossover hits. And it was a little bit controversial at that time, because I was one of the first to work with pop artists in our scene. And now it's the other way around. Like after that, every big DJ did the same thing. And I went back and took my music back to the origins, the roots, and I went way less commercial and created this alias Jack Back and did the Future Rave project. So, it's kind of magic to win 2 times for almost opposite reasons.
And we also need to talk about your performance at the award ceremony because you actually did a live act and all the songs there were either produced or remixed by you. So how long did it take for you to plan everything?
Yeah, that was a huge amount of work. But I wanted to make it a little bit like, okay, it's undeniable, a little bit of an ego trip maybe. So yeah, I worked a lot. I didn't want to play any music that was not created by me. So even though I sampled some of classics, but they were all like reproduced by me. Yeah, it was a statement. And also there was something interesting, is that, I'm always feeling like, oh, it's not necessary to be too technical because when you play for a huge amount of people, they actually don't really understand. And it's all about the energy. But now, people are watching the set on, their computers, so they can actually see and understand what I'm doing. So I wanted to make a set that was more, let's say, a hybrid between live machines, synths, drum machines, and DJing.
Awesome. So this has been an atypical year because of the pandemic, of course, but clearly this didn't stop you from working crazy hard. Even though you premiered Future Rave like some time ago, I feel like 2020 was the year where people started to accept and embrace this sound a bit more. Back then, were you apprehensive about your fans' reaction to it?
It's always hard to know. Like, you know, when I played the first Future Wave record we did together with Morton, it was undeniable. You know, it's like the reaction of the crowd was immediate.
So you
But
just knew it.
yeah, but at the same time, I was expecting the sound to take off immediately because I could see people going nuts when I was playing the records, but it was, I forgot that it always takes time. And
Yeah.
it took almost a year to really, really, you know, become almost a movement like it is right now, and so many DJs to embrace that style. So, and I think also because there was COVID and we didn't let go. You know, we didn't say what was logical to say, like, okay, now we're making DJ music. Why would we release records for DJs when they cannot play? So let's wait and it doesn't matter. We were like, no, let's make this for the fans, you know? And I think people really appreciated this.
And what do you expect to receive from the crowds at clubs and festivals once you can finally play this live?
This is like, you have no idea. I'm thinking of this every day because like I was voted #1 DJ. I have this new sound. I have so many new records. It's going to be insane. And imagine like people haven't been able to party for 1 year. It's like when they're gonna open, it's gonna be the craziest party year of all time.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait for that. It's gonna be unbelievable.
And as you said, due to social distancing, we didn't have any shows this year. So live streams became a thing. And by the way, in my opinion, you were responsible for making the best ones we had.
Yeah.
So being an artist who has remained relevant for like a lot of years, and actually being the reason why so many people fell in love with EDM, do you think these online shows and festivals can help the scene stay alive during these crazy times and maybe even win future generations?
Yes, of course. You know, again, you know, I think we should be in for the good and the bad times. And, you know, I think it's too easy to, you know, only be there when you make a lot of money. And then when the fans are having a bad time and they're home, not be there for them. And that was the spirit. It's like, okay, I'm gonna keep releasing records. I'm gonna make shows that are even crazier, and not just a simple DJ set from my bedroom, you know, like everyone was doing before I did the Miami show, because fans were there for me for so many years. They deserve the best when the times are difficult. They deserve even more, you know. And that was the idea before, behind what I was doing.
So speaking of live streams, you're going to be part of Tomorrowland's New Year's Eve celebration party, and you'll be playing David Guetta's tracks as well as Jack Beck's. So what differences can we expect from each set? Come on, give me some spoilers.
Well, I can tell you because I recorded already the set, because, you know, it's a green screen and then like a huge Hollywood movie level of post-production. I've seen some images. It's really spectacular. So it's New Year's Eve, so I thought the David Guetta set should be more like a celebration with some hits. And, you know, I'm always trying to make it unique. So, you know, I played a lot of mashups and also some exclusive music, but let's say big and songs that you want to sing, and, you know, like more like a celebration. And Jack Back, I'm really happy with this set, by the way. Is more underground, very dark, and a little more experimental, let's say. But, you know, there are two different identities, really.
I'm very excited about that, but deep down, I wish I could be watching you play live just like I did in 2011 in Copacabana. Do you remember that?
Yeah, oh my God, of course. That was so crazy.
That was epic.
It was
so,
unbelievable.
so let's talk a little bit about your latest single, Let's Love. If I'm not mistaken, this is your 7th collaboration with Sia. Why do you think this partnership between you guys works so well?
Well, first, she's a little genius, you know. So to tell you how it went, it was the beginning of confinement. I was in Miami, stuck in my apartment, and she was in LA. I just texted her, can we just make a happy song to inspire people and to go through this together and not against each other? Because there was so much pressure between communities. It was a really tough time. And she took those words and she made it a song in 24 hours. So this is how good she was, you know? It's just amazing to work with an artist that can sound so good, but that can also write songs, you know? Like people don't notice, but not many artists that you hear on the radio write their songs, you know? Most artists, they're just amazing singers, but they don't necessarily write the words. And I think it really gives a different dimension when you work with someone that is actually singing what they wrote, you know, because they feel it in a deeper way.
Yeah, that's true. So David, you've been to Brazil like loads of times. I feel like this could easily be your second home. What's the most special memory you have from our country? And when do you want to come back? Because we miss you.
I miss Brazil very much, actually. It's been a while. I used to go there. It was part of my deal with my manager. I used to say, you know, we would have a meeting every year to speak about what country to choose. And I was always like, as long as I go to Brazil, for the rest, you know, you do what you want, but make sure I'm going to Brazil every year. So it's been a while and I really miss it. Yeah, I can't wait to be back. Really. I love Brazil.
I've been to actually 8 of your shows here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you know any Brazilian artists or producers? And do you think maybe you would be able to incorporate like the Brazilian sound a bit in your songs? Do you see yourself doing that?
Yeah, of course, of course. I remember going to some funk parties and
Yeah.
loving it. It was so much fun. I love Anitta. I'm sure we could do something one day together. That would be nice.
Oh, that would be amazing. So just to finish, David, you play Tomorrowland every year. You were just crowned the best DJ in the world again. You have featurings with like the best in the biz. I feel like you've done it all. Is there anything that you haven't ticked off your bucket list?
Well, you know, at this stage, it's not necessarily, let's say, working with some famous people or something like this, because I've done that a lot. It's more like, okay, finding the new Sia, you know, that people don't know, or what I did with the future rave sound, you know, making something that has a cultural impact again on my community, you know, and this is really what matters to me now.
Amazing. David, thank you so much. I'm a huge fan. This was a pleasure for me. So thank you so much. And just before you go, if you can send a quick message to all your Brazilian fans.
Hey, Brazil, this is David Guetta. I miss you a lot. And hopefully in 2021, we're going to dance together like never before. Love you guys.
Pois é, hein, gente, David Guetta parece que o tempo só melhora ele, né? O homem vai ficando mais bonito, mais bonito, mais bonito. Espero que a gente possa em breve vir para o Brasil. A gente quer muito esse feat dele com a Anitta. Vai que vem aí uma rave de favela 2.0. Vai ser babado, hein? David Guetta eterno em nossos corações. Beijo pra vocês. Até a live de Tomorrowland do David Guetta. Gente, como é que vai ser essa live? Babado, hein? Já vou botar roupa branca. Ai, meu Deus. Me sinto pronta. Beijo!